adventurers! Welcome to Roll for Felicity, where we play serialized one-shots in a variety of systems with sorted players. I'm here tonight with some new players and one revisiting player to play a game called Basic Witches, which you might be able to tell, especially from Kitty. Kitty's outfit, very witch-like. And I'm super excited to play this game. Before we get into it, if you are new here, my name is Taylor. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the person behind Roll for Felicity. So I am the dungeon master, game master, storyteller, all the different titles for different things. Generally, there are sometimes guest DMs. We play a bunch of different game systems with a bunch of different players. That's pretty much the long and short of it. Sleep Child, thank you for the lurk. Melanie and Mila, hello. And also, I said this right before stream, but Paige, aka Dungeon Mom, thank you for the resub. I am going to tell you all a little bit about the game, and also a little bit about what we're going to be doing tonight, and I'll throw it over to my players to introduce themselves. First, the game that we're playing, let me read the little blurb about it. Basic Witches is a game of teen femmes casting spells with pumpkin spice lattes and making sigils with liquid lipstick to hex high school sexual predators and ace exams. Embrace your budding craft, sexuality, and feminism by using your powers for mundane things, all while working to defeat the local big bad Hex the Patriarchy. Which, as soon as I saw this game, I was like, gotta do it. This game just seems too fun. I'll also say at the top of the stream, generally sexism is something that I don't include in games. For this game specifically, we all agreed that it would make sense to have the antagonists be sexist, as it's a main theme of the game. I will say though, even though the blurb mentions high school sexual predators, and that's certainly something you can include in this game, that's not going to be something that we're going to be exploring in this one shot. The other thing I'll say, before I throw it over to my guests tonight, is that you can affect the things that happen during the stream tonight. So if you, let me do this. It's in the thing. I always forget to mention it. If you use 200 bits or $2, you can give one player +1 to a roll of their choice. For 500 bits or $5, you can give each player +1 to a roll of their choice. And all of those tips do go to my guests tonight. Obviously, just you being here is wonderful and supportive, and I appreciate that so much. But if there's at any point where you're like, oh, I really want someone to be able to succeed, or I really enjoy what this person's doing, you can throw in a couple of bucks, and it goes to the performers. I think that's everything that I have to say, so I will throw it over to my guests, starting with Kitty. Do you want to introduce yourself to chat?
Sure. Hi, I'm Kitty Stryker. I use she, her pronouns. I've been playing tabletop RPGs for like 20 years off and on, but definitely more regularly over the pandemic. I'm a huge fan of Fiasco. I also do street medic work, and I do consent activism. I teach people about consent.
Awesome. Sorry, I'm just adjusting. This is my first time using the captions, and I didn't make the little screen quite wide enough. I think I did now. That's something I'll have to fidget with in future streams. Because it is a little bit small. Cool. Thank you, Kitty, so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And let me do this command. For all the players, if you want to follow them on Twitter or find them other places, I just posted some links in chat. Lexi, do you want to introduce yourself to everyone next?
Sure. Hi, my name's Lexi. My pronouns are she, her. I've been playing and DMing various systems for about 3 years. So I have played in Dungeons and Dragons and Monster Hearts primarily, and then I DM'd D&D and Monster of the Week.
And then Paige, do you want to tell people about yourself?
Sure. Hi, chat. My name's Paige. I am also a Twitch streamer. I stream D&D content over at Dungeon Mom, where I get to DM my closest friends and family in our weekly Dungeons and Dragons game. But I also enjoy playing other systems and joining Taylor on her one-shots. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's me. Hello.
Yeah, and then the other thing we're gonna do for introductions is I always do like a little icebreaker thing question for introductions, which is actually my mod Melanie's idea. Also Melanie and Mila, thank you so much for modding tonight. And the question for this evening is, what is your favorite, or just something you enjoy? It doesn't have to necessarily be a favorite. But like basic activity or thing, or like fall activity or thing, because those two are often hand in hand. I'll say for myself, I do enjoy a good corn maze. I do like to, when I can make it out, I like to get lost in some corn. Bonus points if there's a winery involved. But but I do like a good corn maze, and scarves, which I feel like is a given. I like scarves. I have a bunch of scarves. But yeah, what about we'll do the same order again, Kitty. Do you have a favorite basic activity or fall activity?
I love everything about fall, and I think I come from the East Coast, so like the leaves changing is like a huge part of my history. I grew up pagan, so visiting Salem was traditional. I think that the thing I do the most regularly is go to a pumpkin patch. Got to get the pumpkins straight from the patch. I do like a good corn maze or hay maze, but I absolutely hate jump scares. And I got kicked out of Spooky World when I was 12 because I hit somebody, because I took karate as a kid, and if something jumps out at you, you should punch them until they stop. So now I don't go to haunted houses or anything like that out of respect for other people and myself.
Makes sense.
As somebody who's worked in theme parks, thank you for being self-aware enough to know.
Yeah,
that.
I know so many friends who work at theme parks. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like,
yeah, Lexi, do you have a favorite basic activity or fall activity?
Oh, scented candles. I have a concerning collection of scented candles hidden away in my closets that nobody has to see them unless I like open the door and suddenly it's just like my stash.
Yeah, when my husband and I just moved, and when we moved into the new place, I was like, are we gonna be candle people or incense people? Because in the past we've had both, but I feel like they're like kind of different vibes, and he was like, let's be candle people. So we got I just got a bunch of scented candles. One of them, pumpkin praline, which I was burning while I was prepping for this one shot. Paige, what is your favorite thing that you do that might get you labeled basic, or something that you like to do during fall?
I know there are a lot of people when it starts to get cold who get seasonal depression. I am the complete opposite. I become alive when it starts to get cold. And I'd probably say the most basic thing is I'm definitely that woman who like gets up early on the weekend, throws a blanket around her with a cup of coffee, and is like ready to take on the day. But then I do absolutely nothing with that inspiring motivation. But I definitely do that like every Saturday morning.
That's good. That's delightful.
Nesting pro though.
Yeah, I love that energy. Well, with that, I think we're ready to get started playing the game itself. I did put a link in chat if you want to get this game for yourself. Or if you want to follow the creator, Alicia Furness, I believe is how you pronounce the last name. You can get it on itch, and it's also in a Halloween tabletop bundle on itch. So you can get that and a couple other games, including a game by Peach Garden Games, which we've played 2 different Peach Garden games on stream. We played I Came Here to Win, which is Peach Garden Games, and we also played Raising Hell. So it's a different game than either of those. It's one that I haven't played, but it seems like it's a good bundle because it has a couple different, creators that I've played on stream. Let me go over to my notes now. So the way that the game works is that all 3 of our players are playing teenage witches. And we've done character creation. They know a little bit about each other. They all have secrets, and then each of them knows a secret about the other, which I'm sure we'll get into once we're actually playing. And the only dice that you use for this game is a single d6. And you just add, there's some different abilities that the players all have bonuses to. You just add your stat bonus. They also have special powers or favorite spell casting tools, so that can get them bonuses. So in this game, if you roll a 5 or higher, you succeed at whatever you're trying to do. On a 3 to 4, you can fail or ask to succeed at a cost. And then on a 1 or a 2, a complication arises and your power is weakened. All the characters will be marking weaknesses. And then the players actually get to decide what the complication is. And then when someone has accumulated 5 weaknesses, they reduce one of their stats. So that's pretty much the mechanics of the game. Oh, also, yeah, today is a free RPG day, which I only found out yesterday. So I retweeted a thread on Twitter, at Roll for Felicity. That's a bunch of RPGs that you can get for free today. So thank you for that reminder, Melanie. I think with that, having described a little bit of the game and talked about what we like about fall, I have some narration to read about what's going to happen tonight. Before you see anything, you hear it. It starts as a soft crackle, a sound you normally associate with bonfires, flannel, hot dogs, and marshmallows. By the time you can see, the crackle has grown into a towering purple flame. Fire always spreads quickly, but this inferno is supernaturally fast, and despite the nearby buildings being close enough that the flames lick the sides, those buildings are left with no burn marks. Then the smell hits you. Burnt coffee. The flames flicker behind big glass windows illustrated with pumpkins, fall leaves, and bedsheet ghosts. Pumpkin spice latte now available. The window shatters into dust. That's something that none of you 3 players see, but something that the audience sees as we start our story. The bell rings at Buckland High, and as the classroom doors burst open, students begin hustling from one class to the next, most of them finding time to chat, gossip, and flirt in the controlled chaos. Amongst this throng of teens are the 3 of you. I would love for each of you to describe yourselves, what you're doing, and you can also decide if you're together right now, or if you want to run into each other later. But this is your little chance to introduce your characters to everyone. You can go in whatever order you prefer.
All right, I'll go first. So my character is by a nestle of lockers, way after the bell has rung for classes to start, potentially, maybe a couple minutes late. And she is in a grungier attire, maybe not the coolest jeans, maybe a couple years out of season. And she seems to be talking to somebody with a hoodie in hushed tones, and they make a quick exchange. And then she'll throw her supplies in her locker and slam the door and head over to her coven. Her name is Bridget.
I love that so much. Yeah, so Bridget has a little shady exchange with some people. What about the other 2 of you? What do you think that we're doing, that you are doing as the action begins?
I think I'm at my locker, and I'm definitely like playing with my hair, and I'm talking to this boy who is definitely like goth adjacent. I think he's wearing a trilby. And I'm just saying, like, I just think in the podcast, like, there were just some really good points, like, oh, shit, my friends are meeting up. I gotta go. And I like slam my locker shut and I walk over to where Bridget is.
Yeah.
Her name
Sorry.
is Cassandra, but her name is actually Jessica Smith. She's just trying to be Cassandra now. Oh, and she's wearing like all black, like a big baggy sweater and leggings, and definitely has some like black sparkly Uggs on, and she's holding a pumpkin spice latte.
Of course.
Half drunk.
Of course. You've somehow managed to find it, even though it's kind of like the middle of the school day.
Oh, I left. I totally cut class to go get this. Like,
Perfect.
absolutely.
Wonderful. I will say also, just because the person you described fits so well with an NPC, the guy that you were talking to, I think the boy you were talking to, his name is Roberto Espinoza. He's a senior. He is goth, or goth adjacent, as you mentioned. He's broody, he's handsome. I think he looks like a younger Harvey Guillen from What We Do in the Shadows, which is to say that if he were in Riverdale, he would just be played by Harvey Guillen, like with a shaved face. Like he would just be played by him. But I think Roberto is who you were talking to before you went to go talk to the rest of your coven. And that just leaves Lexi. What do you think your character is up to in these little moments?
I am in the bathroom. I am wearing the Lyrica Matoshi strawberry dress and freezing my ass off, but a sweater or cardigan or jacket does not go with this dress, so it is not present. And I have somehow turned this tiny sink at the girls' bathroom into like a full like Tati Westbrook level of like makeup products. And I'm like going in and like reapplying like the highlighter so like you could see my face from outer space. Yes. There's that much highlighter on.
I think while you're in there, oh, actually, who would this be? I'll let you answer this, Lexi. I have two different people that you could run into. Do you think, did you mention your character's name?
Oh, my character's name is Melissa Williams.
Melissa, do you think you would be closer to someone who is a cheerleader or someone who's a theater kid? Would be someone that you would be friends with, because beforehand we talked about theater, that you're involved in the theater, but I don't think that you would describe yourself as a theater kid.
No, I think probably a cheerleader.
Okay. So you are putting this applying your makeup, and Penny Cooper, who is a cheerleader, she's a senior. I don't think we talked about what year you all are also, which I guess we can decide. But Penny's a cheerleader, she's a senior, blonde. She's not like the most popular girl in school, but she has a big friend group. I would describe her kind of as like a Karen from Mean Girls. Is that character's name? I'm just now thinking that it might not be. Karen from Mean Girls. And she comes up to you and she's like, "Oh my God, Melissa, did you hear?"
Hear what?
Did you hear about the coffee shop?
What happened to the coffee shop?
The coffee crypt, it like 100% burned down last night. And that, like, I'm just like freaking out because I'm like, a pumpkin spice lattes were the season was supposed to start tomorrow, and like other places have them, but like none of them are like the coffee crypt.
No, the other places do not have like the right like amount of like spice to pumpkin.
Exactly.
When it's like in math, when it's got like the two little dots, and it's like the bigger number and then the littler number. I don't know what that means, but like you're right about the pumpkin and the spice. Yeah.
Yeah, burned down, completely burned down. Nobody knows what happened. Nobody saw it, apparently. By the time the firefighters got there, it was cinders. It was completely burned down.
So sad.
Yeah, I just thought you might want to know.
And I do like that. It's like the moment in Scream Queens that like Emma Roberts like, like angry sad stomp.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I head out to find my cup and I like whoosh everything into like
yeah, into a big bag.
My bag and scurry out.
Yeah. I walk up happily drinking my pumpkin spice latte. Like, oh, hello.
I'm trying to run in very impractical like heels that have like the little like ribbon lace-ups.
You're 100% out of dress code and just like nobody says anything to you. Strawberry dress and
Are we a
heels.
uniform school? And she's not even in uniform.
That's up to you all. That is funny. But also, no, I think Cassandra already described she's wearing something that is a uniform. So I don't think it's a uniform school, but it is definitely there is a dress code. And Melissa is never following the dress code.
I don't know her.
But yeah, you swish your way over to Cassandra, who's drinking a pumpkin spice latte.
Okay, so Penny told me that the coffee crypt burnt down last night.
Oh, did it? Huh.
Well, where'd you get that then?
Oh, this old thing. I made it myself. Yep.
Where, Kitty, where is this coffee from? And are there any indications on the cup?
I think I have it in my own coffee tumbler. Like, I'm definitely a person who has a coffee tumbler thing that's covered in stickers.
Okay.
So you can't tell from the cup, but it smells suspiciously like the perfect balance that comes from the coffee crypt.
Yeah. You smell this, maybe the last remaining or a dupe somehow of Cassandra having this last possible thing that you think there's not going to be another source for.
Why do you look so sad?
Because it burnt down. There's gonna be no more coffee crypt. No more little pumpkin-shaped cake pops. No more little ghost cookies that look really cute on Instagram.
Burnt down. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, that is too bad. And I just have another sip of my coffee.
Plus, it's like a small business, so like that's really sad for the guy who owns it.
That's very true. You should always support small businesses. Oh, hey, Bridget, how's it going?
Hey guys, can I have some of that? I'm gonna like quickly grab her thermos. I'm sorry.
Okay. Sure.
Wait, how do you get? I thought they burnt. How'd you get this?
Yeah, I just heard they burnt down too. Weird. I brought it from home.
Can you make me something tomorrow?
Sure, yeah, probably. Yep, I could make you something, definitely.
You don't have to put that divination flair to it. It can just be a normal coffee.
Oh, but I'm getting so good. I've figured out this thing with the sprinkling of the cinnamon and the floofing of the milky, creamy stuff. I don't know. I'm getting good at it though. It's not like last time, I promise.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like last time.
I mean, I know last time was kind of a big deal, but this time, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Coolio. So, are we gonna figure out what's going on at the coffee shop, or because it wasn't me?
Oh yes.
It was probably not me.
I wasn't thinking it was you, but then you said it wasn't you so quickly that now I'm a little concerned.
It was probably Bridget.
So Bridget takes the fall immediately.
And that's the one shot. It's over.
It turns into PvP.
Pick me.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. We got to the bottom of it.
We should probably go investigate. I mean, I don't really care about going to any of my classes for the rest of today. What about you guys?
You're gonna see Bridget struggle for a second. She's about to say, Cassandra, Um, I thought, considering your flair for latte art, you would have like worked there, part time or something.
Oh no! After the last time that, yeah, they asked me not to come in for any more shifts.
Okay, I'm gonna be real with you, Cassandra. You're acting real sketchy about this whole coffee thing. I've got a good sense for this, and you look really guilty. So just like spill it, girl.
Okay. I went there really late and I got some of their syrup out of there and I like mixed one up so I could have it fresh in the morning.
Yeah.
So I did kind of break and enter a little bit.
Sure, we'll pass
But
that. I'm over that.
it wasn't on fire when I got there. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't on fire when I left. I mean, I don't know how it would have caught on fire.
I think...
So at no... Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think with this revelation that you were there last night, Cassandra, do you want to roll me, I think this would be a knowledge roll, but
Yes.
also given your divinatory magics, this could be craft, to see if you noticed anything last night when you broke into the coffee crypt.
I want to roll for craft.
Cool. So go ahead and roll a d6. And do you want to let everyone know how much you add to your craft?
0.
But
I got a 1.
Oh, no. I think
You're
it's
fine.
I think it's a 2 because you get to add if
I get to add +1 because of divination.
Yes, because either your special power
Not
or
that that
favorite
matters.
tool, but that's still a failure. Okay. On a 1 to 2, a complication arises and your power is weakened. Go ahead and mark 1 weakness. If you get 5 weaknesses, that's not good. But what do you think the complication is? And if you don't have anything off the top of your head, I can come in with something, but I'm gonna ask you first.
I feel like, so this is a question of like basically arcana, like magical knowledge.
Yes,
right?
I think you decide, because you did craft, I think, as opposed to it just being you thinking about like last night, what did I see? I mean, obviously this is to your discretion, but I'm assuming you kind of like pop open the lid of your your pumpkin spice latte.
I like look at the coffee grounds. There are literally coffee grounds at the bottom of this. And I like and I think that the complication is that the coffee grounds are just moving around and around and around. There's like no way to tell.
Yeah.
And I try to pass it off and be like, oh, storm's coming. Something dramatic. Definitely.
I think this is also reflected as a weakness because it just really doesn't do a lot for the other two's trust in your abilities.
I am not good at divination.
Whatever trust they may have had, it definitely doesn't make them trust you anymore. But
I think I was just excited to be asked to be a part of this coven, and whether or not I actually have any magical ability at all is like up for grabs, really.
Oh, I just also remembered something that chat or any of the players can do. If anybody who's in chat. Oh shoot, I can't do it. Okay, never mind. I forgot that I'm not signed in with Nightbot because I had to change my password because of Twitch's big leak. So normally you can do !marker, and it'll make a marker for me to go back and make a clip later, but I can't do that this time. We'll do it next time. So yeah, you say storm's coming. You are looking at this coffee cup. I think while
Any
you
day
all
now.
are talking and mentioning the coffee shop, someone else that you know, and I think actually it would be Cassandra who knows this girl, because you are a theater kid, just straight up. This girl, who's, her name's Sarah Lay, and it's, I'll put it in chat. She is a theater kid. She's a sophomore. She's Vietnamese. She's very outgoing and dresses like kind of twee. And she's, passing you. The hallway's starting to empty out a little bit as people are going to their classes. And she, puts her hand on you, like kind of like on your arm, and says, Are you talking about Coffee Crypt?
I love those shoes.
Oh, thank you. They're
so cute.
I'm kind of afraid I'm gonna get in trouble for them, but they're technically flats. There's a little bit of a heel on them, but they're technically allowed.
I mean, I've never gotten in any trouble, so I'm sure it'll be fine for you.
Yeah, well, you're Melissa Williams. and and she says, I heard Sabrina talking about the Coffee Crypt on the bus. She was talking to her mom on the phone, and she like said something about it. Like, I didn't really hear what she was saying, but I don't know, it just looked like you were doing your little spooky stuff. I thought maybe you'd want to talk to Sabrina. And Sabrina, you would know, I think she's referring to Sabrina Andrews, who is a band kid, who you don't see right now, but it seems like that's who she's talking about.
Interesting. Definitely Cassandra, at being touched, has like frozen solid and looks very awkward, and like you can't tell if this is exciting or absolutely horrifying.
Yeah, when
I'm debating whether or not I should touch you too as like a reset and turn it off and back on again.
Sarah pulls her hand as soon as you freeze. She pulls her hand away, kind of like like she didn't mean to startle you.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not used to physical touch.
How did Sabrina see when she was talking to her mom?
What? Sorry, I missed the first part of what you said, Lexi.
How did Sabrina seem when she was talking to her mom?
It seemed like her mom was kind of like, I didn't really hear what she was saying because her mom just kind of kept like, it seemed like she just kept getting cut off. So she seemed kind of like frustrated, and then she kind of like, the last thing she said was just like, okay, whatever, and hung up. So I didn't really hear what she was saying because she didn't really ever get a chance to say it.
Oh, that's kind of sad. Almost as sad as talking to your mom on the bus.
Oh, how embarrassing.
Sarah says, well, I gotta go. I've got math. So I'll see you guys later. And she takes off. You are at the point now where if you're going to cut class, you should cut class. The hallways are getting mighty empty.
Yeah, I think that Bridget and I just leave.
Yeah, and I to them once again, trying to do that run.
I'm straight to business with Cassandra. I'm like, what does Sabrina's Andrew's mom do exactly? Do you know? I don't really know Sabrina that well.
I haven't really seen Sabrina's mom since that field trip a while back.
When we were in middle school?
Yeah.
Oh.
She seemed really uptight then, though.
Yeah. She yelled at me, actually.
Everyone seemed really uptight.
What did you do?
All the adults.
I punched somebody.
They deserved it, though. Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, so Sabrina probably didn't skip class, though.
Yeah, I think we should go and check out the coffee shop first before all the kids who are hearing this rumor come and check it out, because they're going to start graffitiing immediately.
Oh, true. Yeah, and I can collect some of the cinders for a potion I'm working on, so that's a good plan.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think there's not exactly a stat for this, but I think Melissa, if you want to, there's definitely some teachers who are around and faculty who are like, their job is to make sure that students don't leave the school, like, at this time. So I was thinking anyone can obviously make whatever pitch they want to make for what they want to do about this. But maybe if Melissa wanted to use her witchy power to kind of smooth things over, that seems like might be fitting.
Do any of us have a class with Sabrina?
I think that's something that I'll just let you all decide. If you want to have a class with Sabrina, cool.
Because we could watch her for one class and then decide if we need to dip, or we can just dip now.
I think I have a class with Sabrina, but like it's later in the day.
Okay, cool.
I'll say if you have a class with her, then you maybe have her phone number, like for some kind of like study buddy thing.
Yeah.
So then you'll be able to get in touch with her later if you wanna do that.
Yeah, cool. I think in the meantime, then like I swing us by, or maybe I swing by the office, like to get like an actual like excused absence note.
So good.
Cool. Yeah. I don't think I have any faculty made up. I pretty much did students. So is there a faculty member that you would like for this to be? Like, do you have an idea for like the type of person who would be there right now?
I'm thinking not like a vice principal or something like that, but like an administrative, like here's your schedule, you know.
Yeah,
desk.
like I don't know what the term for that is. Administrator, I guess.
Yeah. Hi.
I think do you have any idea? I could make someone up, obviously, but do any of you have pitches for what type of person you want this administrator to be?
Go ahead.
I was only like the one idea I have is maybe she's like a former parent of students, but her kids are like long graduated kind of thing.
Oh, cool.
But like something like that.
Used to have kids at this school, so she's a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I think that's all. Do you have a name in mind for her? Or does anyone have an idea for what her name is?
We had like parents who worked at my high school, and their last name was Bassett. So maybe this is Mrs. Bassett.
Cool, Mrs. Bassett. Yeah, Mrs. Bassett is a couple of things. Always has cough drops. Is pretty much always sucking on a cough drop. And of course, if she's an administrator, she has to have the clicky nails. She has bit long acrylics that she's so she's typing something. You come in and say like, oh, hello, she looks up at you and she says, I'm trying to decide. I think this is the type of person that she is, that she calls all the students by their last names. So she says, what can I do for you, Miss Williams?
I'm so sorry. Me and Bridget and Cassandra, Cassie, you might know her as Jessica. All three of us just really aren't feeling really well.
Oh.
And I think we all need to go home.
So you cough. I think you cough right as Mrs. Bassett was about to say like did you all eat something from the school? Do I need to? Okay, so I need to make some
Those
calls.
weird fish sticks, yeah.
Fish sticks. I can't say I'm surprised. Okay, go ahead and make a craft roll, Lexi.
Okay.
And you get to add
big money, no whammies.
3, and you get to add 4 total. So you can't completely fail.
Oh, that was a 1 on the die.
But that's still
Starting
a
off
5.
strong.
Yeah.
That's still hey.
Yeah, what do you think your magic looks like as you are kind of charming this administrator?
I think it's almost a little like imagining like sort of like anime sparkles around me, like.
Yeah, you're like pouting and like kind of batting your eyelashes, and the other two people in your coven just see these like kind of sparkles around you as you're doing this. And Miss Spath just says, "Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to be making some calls about this, and I gotta call the."
We already let our parents know. We're just gonna all walk home together.
You're gonna walk home and you're sick to your stomach? I don't think that's a very good idea.
Yes, it is.
She just looks back down at her keyboard and types and hands you a little slip. I think three little like whatever carbon copies of an excused absence. And says, "Okay, well, I sure hope you girls feel better soon. I'm gonna have to talk to a lot of people about those fish sticks."
Maybe they should just be taken off the menu entirely and never served again.
She's just nodding and like typing furiously as you all leave the office and presumably are heading to the former site of Coffee Crypt.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You get to Coffee Crypt, which I'll say probably is within walking distance of the school. That's part of the reason why it's so popular, is people can run out and get coffee from it, or stop in, before school. And like Betty said, it is like completely burned to the ground. Like there's not really a lot of I think there's already a like construction like bulldozer kind of vehicle there, like there normally is after a fire, but there's like not really much for them to do because it's like gone. This building is like not even there anymore.
I don't know what kind of marks fire leaves, but is it like different kind of fire marks?
Yeah, anybody who wants to, I think.
This is not Melissa being stupid. This is Lexi being stupid.
I don't think it's stupid to not know the intricacies of a fire.
Wow.
Any of you who want to, and I think all three of you can do this. If you want to roll knowledge to see like what you can figure out, or if you want to use your craft, I think pretty much any time if you wanted to like use magic, you can do that. I think either knowledge or craft would be good rolls. Sleep Child in the chat said it usually chars things. Lexi, you got a 4. Were you rolling knowledge?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll craft again, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour out a little of my precious pumpkin spice latte into the ashes in a sigil.
Oh, okay, cool.
Thus using my pumpkin spice latte and my divination.
Yeah.
Which is a 6 altogether.
Nice. Cool. So you got a 6 on craft. Melissa got a 4 for knowledge. Paige, did you? Sorry, not Paige. Bridget. Did you have something that you wanted to roll?
I rolled knowledge, which is only a +1 for me, but I got a 6, so I feel like Bridget's maybe pretty familiar with arson.
Like, that checks out.
You immediately know that this is not arson in the way that a normal person would commit arson, because the building wouldn't be completely destroyed. Like, this is a busy area. Presumably, like, the fire department could have gotten here pretty quickly. So even if it was a really intense fire, like, it seems unlikely that it would completely burn to the ground in this way. And as that's occurring to you, like, this must have been intentional. Like, you're thinking something that was destroyed this much by fire, there would have been an explosion, which clearly isn't what happened, because the other buildings are not damaged at all. Even by, like, fire. Like, you're looking around at these other buildings that are close by, and there's no smoke damage to them, there's no fire damage to them, it's extremely localized, and you're like, this is not like any fire I've seen. So I think that's what occurs to you. Lexi, you got a 4 for knowledge. which either means that you can just not really be able to figure it out, or you can ask to succeed at a cost. I will leave that up to you.
Paige, did you roll? Was that a knowledge that you just rolled?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll say that I can't really figure it out.
Cool. And that just leaves Cassandra, who pours out this sigil into the ash.
I think
that the pumpkin
Cassandra
spice
is not entirely sure that she didn't cause this fire. So there's a part of the reason why she seems suspicious is like she's pretty sure that she didn't do it on purpose, but she's not sure she didn't do it accidentally.
Yeah.
Like a sleepwalking or astral projection or something, yeah.
I'll ask this question to Cassandra, because your specialty is divination, but we've established you're not particularly good at it. Do you think Cassandra has ever had a real vision before?
Yes, but she later found out that it was because the chocolates she ate had shrooms in them.
Okay. So
she probably got them from Bridget, actually.
That was actually drugs.
And I think Bridget didn't tell her for a long time that it had shrooms in it. So, like, Cassandra was like, finally!
Your origin story. You flash back to that feeling a little bit of when you were on shrooms before, as you have this vivid image in your mind as you look into the sigil. The ash kind of like, I think the edges where like the pumpkin spice latte hits it kind of throw some of the other ashes like up into the air, and as they spin, you look into this little vortex of ash that you've created with the sigil in the center and see this intense vision of the building, and you see that the flames are purple, and I think you see, I'm trying to decide, there's a couple other things I could give you. Would you rather see something, or would you rather know something about the nature of the purple fire? I'll let you choose.
I think I'd rather see something, because that fits in better with the like, oh wait, is this like a drug flashback? I read about those on Arrowwood. Like,
yeah. So you see this purple flame. You see it not touching any of the other buildings. You do know it's magical. I mean, it's a purple flame. You know, flames aren't normally purple. And the last thing you see before you come back to yourself in reality is three masculine-looking figures. Look like high schoolers that are leaving the like coming out of the building as the flames come up.
okay, do I see? Are any of them wearing a trilby?
Yes.
Damn it. Okay, so I think Cassandra is like, whoa. Okay, either I'm having a shroom flashback, or this latte is laced, or I just had a vision. I'm not sure which, but I think this fire was purple, and like I saw three shadowy masculine figures. Cassandra's not going to say that any of them were wearing a trilby. Not yet. Like, she's going to keep that to herself.
Perfect.
So that's like, weird, right?
Warlocks?
I mean, maybe.
Is which a gender neutral term?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I think it can be kind of like how you can have like juggalo and juggalette, but a lot of female juggalos choose to just be juggalos.
Oh.
I think it's like that with witches. I'm not sure though.
Yeah. One of your friends in theater got mad when I told her that she was a really good actress. And she's like, no, it's actor. And I was like, okay, but like clearly my intentions were good.
You know, us theater people are just so dramatic. So Purple Flame, though, I mean, Bridget, have you ever seen Purple Flame before?
I don't think so. And if there are dudes who can suddenly cast magic, can we just make a pact right now that we're not inviting them to this coven we've created?
Ew, no.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
cool. Okay, cool. Well,
And I think for safety, no matter how cute they are, none of us should probably like
kiss them.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely that. Yeah, ew. Yeah.
So we agree.
These guys looked boring anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what did they look like?
They were shadowy. They were.
That doesn't sound boring to me.
I mean, well, Bridget, we all know your type.
Tall, dark, handsome,
shadowy, shooting out purple fire. You know.
Honestly, I'm into it.
You got to keep it exciting. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't really tell any defining features about them. I think if Melissa keeps giving me that look, eventually Cassandra's going to be like, okay, one of them was wearing a trilby.
Oh my god!
I know. Look,
Wait, weren't you talking to Espinosa this morning?
Yes, we were talking about podcasts.
Podcasts.
Yeah, I listen to podcasts sometimes. True crime or whatever it is that teenage girls normally listen to. That's what I listen to as well.
My favorite murder.
Yeah. So
yeah. Morbid, you know, like
definitely. So what did you think about the last episode?
Oh, I'm like way back. Way back. Like I just started it, really.
So that triple murder episode 1 was really crazy, right?
Can I roll for knowledge to see whether or not I am aware that I'm being led into a trap?
I think knowledge or popularity to try to convince the other two that you're not lying. Either one of those is good, yeah.
I
actually do not know what the first episode of My Favorite Murder is.
It was
it
was not a triple murder.
I want to roll for knowledge, and I got a 4.
Okay, so you either don't know or you can succeed at a cost.
And no, I didn't need to look that up.
I think I will succeed at a cost.
Okay, do you have an idea for what the cost is?
I think
Oh, go ahead.
I feel like maybe the cost is that Paige Bridget believes me, but Melissa doesn't.
It does make sense because Melissa does know something about your podcast listening habits.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So yeah, and I also think it's funny that Bridget said triple murder episode when we now know that is not even true. So yeah, what do you say? Yeah, I guess just yeah, I guess the two of you can figure out whatever it is that ends that that line of thinking for Bridget that convinces her.
Yeah, the triple murder was like, wow, just so much, just really intense.
Oh.
I listen to them when I go to sleep. They make my dreams really weird. I don't know why I do it.
Yeah, that's probably not like the best thing to listen to.
Yeah, probably not.
It's better than what I listen to fall asleep.
My older sister listened to like Night Vale, and then my parents had to take her to a therapist.
Oh.
I have a Night Vale quote in my bathroom. I think it is a good therapist, but I mean, you know, I was raised artsy, so.
I'm dying to know what Bridget listens to fall
Yeah, me
asleep.
too.
Well, I'm really into ASMR, but it's a specific ASMR artist who just whispers how they're gonna murder me. It's really
Oh.
comforting.
Cool.
I was thinking of Night Vale as a recent thing, and then I realized, like, oh no, that show's like 8 years old now. Like, no way would Melissa listen to it. She would have been in elementary school.
But you said your older sister, right? So that
Yeah,
makes
that's why I went with
Yeah.
only sister at the last minute.
That's so funny.
It could be the Magnus archives,
Yeah, so you have a couple of leads, I think. What do you all want to do next?
Oh, okay. I think I want to bring everybody to my house to open the yearbook from last year so we can see if the silhouettes of any of the guys
Yeah.
match up with what Cassie saw.
Yeah, what do you think your house is like, Melissa?
I think it's like upper middle class, but I think that Melissa truly does not quite understand that she has a like decent amount of money. She just thinks that this is what everybody's house is like. And I think that her bedroom is like in the transition where like you want to make your room more of a teen's room instead of a little girl's room, but like you can't really do that all at once.
Yeah.
So like it still has like the limited 2 style like white canopy, this circle thing over the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And like there is a lone Samantha American Girl on one of the shelves. But
Yeah.
she's like trying to make it.
What is the answer to this can be, nothing, because you already listed a couple really good things. But is there something in this room that Melissa is especially embarrassed that's still here, that hasn't made the transition yet?
Ooh, I think there's a picture of me at like some kind of like family trip, like on the beach in Hawaii or something, when I was like 13, and like my hair is like full Hermione from like the salt water. Like I still have my braces on, and I was like just learning eyeliner, which means it's full raccoon,
Yes.
but like sliding down.
I love that so much. So yeah, you all come into this really, I'm visiting almost like McMansion kind of house that Melissa lives in. Make your way up to her room, which has like a mix of like, contemporary stuff and then some remnants of her childhood. And Melissa pulls out the yearbook. What do you all want to do to try? You've said what you want to do, which is to see if you can compare any of these guys to the silhouettes that Cassandra saw. Do you have like a specific method that you want to do this?
Ooh. I think I'm flipping through some like lacrosse body, swimmer's body, like.
I mean, I think kind of scrawny. I don't think sporty. Maybe AV club.
Okay.
Body.
Yeah, we might have to process of
Is that a body
elimination.
type?
Anybody who's only got like one picture in the yearbook might be one of these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to. I mean, height. I guess I saw a little bit of their height. I mean,
Yeah,
there's not a lot of kids in school that wear trilbies, unfortunately.
Can I do this as like a popularity roll?
Yeah, actually, I think this could be a popularity roll. That makes sense, because you would know like all these other students, whether you can narrow it down more quickly. So yeah, that makes sense to me.
That's a 6.
Cool.
Ooh.
You are narrowing things down. I think part of it is you're like, Okay, if people were gonna be in like a coven or like a boy coven together, like it's probably not gonna be this guy. Like he's not really friends with Roberto. Like it's kind of narrowing it down that way. And you are able to, I think with a 6, and with Cassandra having gotten a really high roll for that vision, you are able to figure out which 3 guys it is. One of them we've established is Roberto. One of them is Brett Baldwin, who I think especially Melissa, you would know. He's the quarterback. He's a senior. He has sandy brown hair, brown eyes. I feel like he kind of has the look today that like a teenager would call him like a golden retriever boyfriend. He has kind of like the shaggy hair. So that's Brett. And then the other person that you figure out, and I'm trying to decide. I think maybe this would make sense for Bridget to know this person. And also Bridget, you're the only one who doesn't know one yet, so so it works out for each of you to know one. Is Pete Lewandowski. He is a musician. He's a senior. He's white with dyed black and green hair and has an eyebrow pierced. And you also know that he has a tattoo of a goat skull with a word, with a Polish word under it, like on kind of his arm right here. You can't really see what I'm doing, like right here. So you recognize from the silhouettes, you're able to, I think it takes a little bit of time because you have so many people to go through, but you're able to figure out that it's those 3 boys. Who are all 3 seniors? I don't know if I said that, but they are all 3 seniors.
So do we want to like split up and each take one of these guys to talk to, or?
I think you all are obviously free to do whatever you want. I think when you realize that Brett is the quarterback, you also are thinking, tonight is the homecoming game, and tomorrow is like the homecoming dance. So that is something that you're like, well, I know probably most of the school is going to be at the homecoming game. Brett certainly will be there because he plays football, so he pretty much has to be there. You can do with that information what you will.
I mean, if we wanted to keep an eye on Brett, we could go to the game. I wonder if they're planning some. I mean, the timing of this, that it burnt down last night, and then tonight is the homecoming game, and tomorrow is the dance.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine any other reason for the 3 of these guys to hang out together. I mean, like, Roberto's fine, I guess, but, like, I can't really see Brett hanging out with him voluntarily, you know what I mean? Like...
I hang out with you guys voluntarily.
Well, sort of. I mean, also we're a coven, so there's a little bit of weird... Anyway, power dynamics. But... Yeah, I wonder, do you think that they did like some sort of weird dark magic to win the game or something?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe they had to like sacrifice something in order to win tonight, and so they like chose to sacrifice the coffee crypt.
Well, that sucks. They don't go there. They're sacrificing something that like we go to. That's not a sacrifice.
The power of the pumpkin spice.
Move.
That makes me mad. Ugh.
While you're having this conversation, which of the 3 of you do you think would be most likely to have been planning to do some sort of, because Halloween is coming up, some sort of like sexy noun Halloween costume? Yeah, I thought it might be Melissa. It could also be more than one of you, if someone else is also like, I think I was doing that. But, Melissa, I think you got a text from Penny Cooper.
Okay.
And it just is a picture of the front of the local Halloween shop, which I'm going to just call Masquerade, because that's come up in multiple one-shots. This real place that exists that our friend gets costumes from. This local costume shop called Masquerade, and it's a picture of the front of it, which the front window is broken. And the text just says, "Someone broke into Masquerade and stole all the sexy costumes." And
there was so little of them to begin with.
Wait a second. They're targeting women. First our pumpkin spice, then our sexy costumes. What's next? Apple cider.
Apple cider. I think that seems like a good place for us to take our halfway break. We've been playing for a little bit less than an hour and a half, but I think that's probably about halfway through our story. You all have rolled very well on your rolls. You're just ripping through everything. So we are going to take a quick break, 10 minutes, and then we'll be back for the last half of the adventure. Normally I would say the last half is shorter, but the first half has not been terribly long, so the second half might be a little bit longer. But we are going to be back with our players, and we're going to be discovering what else these teenage boys are doing, what havoc they're wreaking, and we'll find out what our coven can do to stop them. So we'll see you all in 10 minutes. Bye. Felicitations, adventurers! Welcome to the second half of our stream of Basic Witches. I'm very excited to see what else happens. Oh, I forgot to. This is unprofessional of me. I drafted a tweet to say that we were going into our second half, and I forgot to hit send. So I just sent that. Before we get into it, I'm going to talk a little bit about some other stuff that I have coming up, some of which you may have noticed in the break screen. So tomorrow, I actually have 2 streams back-to-back, which I don't normally do. Tonight, Basic Witches. Tomorrow, I'm going to be playing a session of my series Arse and Farce, which is a Good Society series. This will be the 3rd episode. It's really, really fun. Good Society is a Jane Austen-themed tabletop RPG. It's a very fun game. And if you like more narrative tabletop games, Good Society is a very good one. All of the mechanics are narrative, and it's great. I like it a lot. Lexi plays in my home game. I'm actually running 2 games of Good Society right now because I like it so much. So that is going to be tomorrow afternoon, so that'll be 3 Eastern time. Actually, Teg, who's in chat, is one of the players in that game. And then Halloween night, I'm going to be playing, starting at, I think, 6 Eastern time, going to be playing the next session of Goblin Squad, which is my Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition one-shot series where all of the player characters are goblins. Melanie, who's one of my mods and who's in chat right now, is one of the players for that one. It's one of the first streams I ever did was a Goblin Squad, and it's going to be Halloween themed. It's on Halloween. I'm going to see if I can wear a costume. I think Melanie is planning to dress up as her character, which she normally does. Yes, Tig. I don't know if this character for Tig is a dummy, but they are the worst. But yeah, so I'm very excited for that. And then on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I play video games solo. Sometimes I play single-player tabletop games. Probably going to be playing some Animal Crossing to get ready for that big update. So I also sometimes play Stardew Valley and sometimes play Phoenix Wright. So we'll see what's up, but I'll be doing that Tuesday and Wednesday. But that's enough about me. Let's hear some more about Paige. Do you want to reintroduce yourself to chat and also give them the rundown of what else you do?
Yeah, sure. So I'm also a Twitch streamer over at Dungeon Mom, where I do stream a lot of RPG content, specifically Dungeons and Dragons. You can join me on Wednesday nights. at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, where I get to DM my party of 7 adventurers. We're stacked. And right now they are traveling through the desert, and we have just kicked off a really fun family introduction for one of our characters. So they're great. Check us out. We're definitely a chaotic good play style. And there's a lot of jokes and sexualization, unfortunately. All my NPCs have to be hot. I don't know. I didn't get to choose this. It's been thrust upon me. But we have a lot of fun. So you can join us over there.
Dungeon Mom's streams are great. They're very, very, very fun. And I don't get to catch them as often as I want to. I try to see them when I can, but they're great. It's the reason why, actually, Paige, one of the reasons why I love your stream is because I can watch like partway through a stream and still be like entertained, even if I don't really know like what's going on plot wise. Like, you're such a fun DM, all your players are so fun, so it's like, honestly, even if you just drop in the middle, it's usually still a pretty good time.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love your stream. Who's next? Lexi. Do you have other things that you want to plug? Also, I only say this because I know you were talking about before stream that you were like, I don't know what to plug. If you have like concepts or things that you like that you think other people should try, you can feel free to advise those to people as well. That's a common thing for plugs.
Yeah, I'll say, in December 2020, I started a Discord of awesome people who play various tabletop games. So I think I'm actually going to plug the general idea of reaching out to those you love and maybe people you've never met before and forming a community, because you never really know what's going to grow from it. A lot of the people that I met that way have become some of my very best friends in the last 9 months or so. So reach out to people. You never know what might happen in a group. And similarly, if you're somebody who has always wanted to play but been too shy or anything like that, I can't recommend jumping in feet first highly enough. There's such a wonderful world out there of exciting things that people are creating.
Yeah.
There's always more to discover.
It's been great. I've also made some friends since joining the Discord, and I haven't even been in it that long. But it is really lovely. And one of the reasons why I started this channel is because I wanted to play more tabletop games with more people. And having a Twitch stream doing that motivated me to do it. So definitely wholeheartedly recommend reaching out to people, getting a game started. I will even recommend GMing, even if you're scared to. It's fun, and even when you mess up, it's pretty fun. So that's my additional plug. Kitty, do you want to talk about where else people can find you? Anything that you want to plug?
Sure, yes. So you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon under Kitty Striker. I like to give the warning, like, don't Google me if you're at work. I used to work in the adult industry, and so I just don't want anybody to get into trouble with their workplace. I am currently working on a workbook that is going to be a follow-up to Ask Building Consent Culture, which is a book I put out in 2017 through Thorntree Press. It's an anthology of a bunch of marginalized people talking about what consent culture means, not just in the bedroom, but also in like the prison industrial complex and in hospitals, things like that. So yeah, and in LARPing actually is one of the essays in that book. So I think it's an interesting thing to think about what consent culture means in role-playing games, in LARPing, just in all these other areas of our lives. Yeah, and for plugging, I mean, Ask is a decent book. I have lots of things I would do about it differently now, but hopefully the workbook will fix some of those things and encourage people to think more critically about what consent means in a way that's really fun and healthy.
Yeah, one of the reasons why I was really excited to have you on the stream is because I think consent in tabletop gaming is like really important and something that's like a big conversation right now, and in the past it has been. And so when you were like, yeah, this is like who I am, I was like, I have to have her on.
Yeah, I mean, I love seeing how, like, I play actually a goblin character in my Thursday game, and thinking about consent as it relates to a lot of bard spells, for example, a lot of charming spells and things like that. And confronting that as a character who's very reckless and impulsive, and then is like, oh, wait a minute, this is actually kind of problematic, is like really fun. And it's an interesting way to think about these philosophical dilemmas in a way that's also kind of silly.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I've mentioned this before, but there is a graphic novel series called Die that I like a lot, and one of the things in that graphic novel series is like the bard kind of archetype. Like everyone's like, this person's really fucked up, like you can't let them talk, like it's like they are considered like the most terrifying like archetype because of that lack of like autonomy when you're being charmed. So I think that's something that's very interesting to definitely to explore through story.
Sorry, can I plug one more thing super quickly?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a really cool time of year, everybody. If you feel safe to do so, head out to your local theme park or your local haunt. This is a really great time of year for all sorts of very, very cool experiences. Like, so if you don't feel comfortable going to a theme park, check around, because a lot of very cool mom and pop haunts have opened up, and they could really use your support.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a fun fall activity. Cool. Yeah, everyone who's on stream right now is very cool. So you should check them out in the other places that they exist online. And speaking of things that are very cool, let's talk about what's happened so far in our game tonight. Oh, actually, before I do that, I will shout out, because I didn't get a chance to at the start of stream, but BZ Archer, thank you so much for the follow. He followed right before we went live, and so I didn't say anything. And also, Goblin Girl Gaming, who is one of my streamer friends, is in chat right now, and you should give them a follow if you like fun video game content. They're a variety streamer, they play a lot of really cool games. They just added a PNG tuber thing, so like when they talk, like there's a little person that comes up, which is very cute. So yeah, so you should follow Goblin. Now I'll talk about what happened so far on stream, which is we have our 3 witch characters, Melissa Williams, Jessica Smith, aka Cassandra, and Bridget Bishop, who started the school day today, finding out that their favorite coffee shop, and indeed probably the favorite coffee shop of the school, Coffee Crypt, burned down last night. And you were able to do a little bit of sleuthing to figure out what happened. It turned out that Cassandra had broken in last night and made what turned out to be the first and only pumpkin spice latte of the season from Coffee Crypt, because it burned down shortly after.
Precious, my precious.
Yeah. Which is good, because that is your divination source.
Don't drink it, bottle it.
So yeah, they were able to, 3 of you were able to go, you skipped school, Melissa did some sweet talking, and then some, at the very end, kind of a demand of Mrs. Bassett, the school administrator, and were able to get an excused absence to leave, claiming that the fish sticks had given you food poisoning. And then the 3 of you went to the former home of the Coffee Crypt, and found nothing but pretty much ash. And Jessica, or Cassandra, had a vision while at the Coffee Crypt of these purple flames and these 3 teenage figures running away from the burning building. Bridget was able to use her knowledge of arson, however she happened to know that, to know that this was a supernatural fire that was intentionally set by someone. The three of you went to Melissa's house and were able to put together between Cassandra's vision and your yearbook the three boys who you saw, which was the school quarterback, a goth boy that is kind of maybe in a flirtation with with Cassandra, and then Pete Lewandowski, who is a musician, not like band kid, but like has a band. And that's where we left off. Oh, actually, no, sorry, where we left off is all the sexy costumes were stolen from Masquerade, leaving Bridget to conclude that they're going after women. They're targeting all these things that women like. And said, what's next? Is it hot cider? And that's where we are now.
And targets. They get rid of all the targets.
All the targets are gone. Leggings are gone. Yeah. So you have this, I believe it was, Melissa, you got a text saying that all the sexy costumes were stolen. And we'll cut back right in with that.
I think I'm just like so like heartbroken and gobsmacked at this. I don't even say anything. I just like turn my phone like.
All the sexy costumes have been stolen? How do they define a sexy costume? Exactly.
Good question.
And have you ever noticed that all the sexy costumes are like femme focused? Like there's not really like sexy man costumes. It's always like novelty costumes for like the sexy lady and then the novelty funny guy. So weird.
Yeah, odd. Huh. But now I'll never get to be sexy Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure we can pull something together out of like the theater prop stuff. I mean, we'll figure something out.
Other people have worn those.
That is true. Yes. Okay, I guess we got to figure this out then, because we can't have you not have a costume. What are you gonna be, Bridget?
I don't. I mean, I was just gonna maybe like what's cool, Among Us. I could wear like a hoodie.
Are you gonna wear that T-shirt that says costume?
I'm not gonna be like a Halloween costume person.
I'm going to have some costume that I think is really clever and no one will understand. As per usual.
It's like handmade, like sewn, perfectly made.
Yeah,
it's like a screen accurate cosplay from a show nobody has seen.
Yeah,
yes.
Definitely. Yep. Yeah. Like I do every year. Well,
still trying to figure out last year's, but I think I'm getting close.
Cassandra refuses
I can't
to
tell
anyone.
You. Yeah, no, absolutely not.
You just don't get it.
Yeah, you just get on my level. Well, okay, so we think we know who did this. I mean, we're all going to go to the homecoming game, right?
Why would anybody not go to homecoming?
I mean, honestly, I usually skip it. Like, I'm not that into sports, but what sport do they play for this again? Field hockey, right? No?
No, it's football, which, I mean, to be fair, I don't really get how it works. They keep stopping the clock, but then they play.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's fun to wear like a big blanket scarf and sit in the bleachers and
or stand under the bleachers.
Well, Roberto and I think, are going tonight. I mean, I guess I could ask him some stuff. I mean, he hasn't specifically asked me to go, but like I'm just assuming that we're going together.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really torn because my natural inclination is to be so happy and excited for you. But also this could be a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we agreed beforehand there's no kissing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with that, honestly. I think it's hard for me to like, you know, I'm trying to like maintain that mystique, you know, so he stays, you know, be mean, keep him keen, right? That's how that works. I read that in an article somewhere. I don't know. I don't really know how to date.
There's also room for argument, like you want what you can't have, and now that they're like warlock boys,
Oh yeah, now it's kind of like a little like Romeo and Juliet forbidden.
Definitely. Yeah, there's also some of that I'm feeling.
Yep. It has a happy ending, right?
No, not really. But that's fine. I mean, you know, it could be any one of Shakespeare's plays. You know, it's early yet. I don't think Roberto's ever read Shakespeare before. So
I don't think he's read a book outside of English before.
Well, he does read these grimoire type thing. I don't know. Like, it's mostly pictures, to be honest. Yeah, he gets them from Hot Topic. Hot Topic still exists, right?
Hot Topic is like the cryptid that will never be gone.
I used to work at Hot Topic. I love dunking on it because I love
parlors and the only thing left will be a Hot Topic and a sweet factory.
And a Spencer's.
I think this will just be one of you. But if one of you wants to roll either knowledge or popularity, there's some information about like school drama that could be helpful to you. So I think I'll just not all three of you roll, but decide amongst yourselves who will make the roll.
I have a +3 in popularity. Does anybody else have a +3 to either knowledge or popularity?
I have a +3 to knowledge, but I feel like this is a popularity thing versus a knowledge thing.
It's funnier if Melissa gets this than if than if Cassandra gets it. I'll just give you that peek behind the curtain.
That is an 8.
Okay. You, as Cassandra's talking about Roberto and saying like maybe we're going together, you know, just because like you kind of keep up with kind of the scuttlebutt of everything in school, Sabrina Andrews, who is the band kid that you were thinking about talking to earlier, recently broke up with Roberto. And I actually think with an 8 you know why. He didn't really pay attention to her, was on his phone or his computer a lot when they hung out. Like she would come over and he would just be like playing video games like the whole time, and he would always be like, oh, like it's kind of fun to watch, right? And she was just kind of like, not really. Not really when you're not talking to me at all. And you're just playing, you know, some kind of tactical game. So you know that Roberto has recently been broken up with.
Yeah, so I think even if you did want to date him, you probably shouldn't, because like Sabrina just broke up with him and Sabrina says that he is a terrible boyfriend.
Yeah, that is probably true. I can believe that, but also there's like a social necessity to be with somebody. Like, I don't want to go to the homecoming dance alone, you know?
I'm going alone. Or the three of us can go together.
That's true. That's true. And like, you can see the like hamster going in Cassandra's head of like, is it better for my social status if I go with Melissa or if I go with a boy?
Literally any boy.
Any boy. Breathing preferable. But Melissa's popularity is probably enough to give that edge. Well, I mean, let me see if he wants to go to the homecoming game tonight, because I can at least get some information out of him. Oh, he's always on some forum called 4chan, I think. Maybe he said something on there. I can like look around there, maybe.
Yeah.
It's really small, so you'll find what you're looking for immediately.
Yeah,
really small
okay.
and everyone's really well identified.
Yeah,
and likable.
I like open it up on my phone and you see my eyes just go wide and I'm just like, no, no, I don't think there's anything useful on there.
Melissa's one of those people who's like so popular she doesn't need to socialize online. So she's just like, well, what is it?
It's bad. It's just bad. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is like a place where murderers come from. Oh, yeah. Has that come up in any of those podcasts, those murder podcasts? They ever mention? Anyway.
Are you asking if they ever mentioned 4chan or if they ever mentioned
murder?
I mean, actually, while we're at it, just to be sure.
No, mostly it's just like brothers who kill their sisters without realizing that they killed their sisters, and then their parents cover it up, and then it's honestly really heartbreaking.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not fine, but I'm less at risk directly from that.
Right.
You don't have any brothers.
No.
Yeah, as long as
that
they're the brothers, you should be good.
Yeah. Okay. Whew.
I think if you wanted to, Cassandra, I do think you probably have Roberto's number.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
I have a number that he gave me. We'll see if it works. It's like his Google Voice number or something. Yeah, so I'll text Roberto and I'll be like, hey, what should I wear for the homecoming game tonight?
I'm like fully over your shoulder, like, you know.
Like helping me edit it? Like,
yeah.
Wait, I shouldn't ask him, right? Is it better if I just assume he's taking me? I'll just ask him what I should wear.
Yeah,
Is that
like,
yeah?
what time
Okay.
are you picking me up or something like that?
Yeah. Also, what time are you picking me up?
Ask him what he's wearing.
Also, what are you wearing?
It's 3 different texts.
Also, are we gonna get any food?
Quadruple text. You see, I think with the first text you send, there's no, like, there's not, it doesn't say it's red, it's not, like, anything. And then you send a second one, and you don't see anything. And then you send a third one, and then you see the bubble, the little typing bubble come up.
He's responding.
Yeah, and then you send the fourth one, and the bubble goes away.
Oh no, I asked too many questions!
No!
Oh, fuck.
Go ahead and I think roll me popularity to see how bad it is that you quadruple text this boy.
Ooh, okay. Let's see. That is a 6 on the die and a +1, so that's 7.
Yeah, so you see there's like a little bit of a pause where maybe Roberto is like kind of internally deciding, and then the bubble comes back up.
Oh, thank God.
And, okay, so what did you ask? You asked what you should wear.
What I should wear, what time is he picking me up, what is he wearing, and are we going to get food?
Okay, so he says, oh, what would be the funny? I'm trying to think of, like, the funny things that he could respond. So the first thing he says is, wear whatever. And then texts, and then in parentheses, like, something warm. Because it's, you know, cold out. Then he texts, can't pick you up, cars in the shop. Then he texts, you said, what is he wearing?
Yeah.
I don't think he responds to that. And then he says, hot cider and donuts, because that's what they have, like, normally at homecoming. Actually, I think you would all know this, because it's, like, the tradition. There is a big, like, cauldron of hot cider that's free for students that they have at the homecoming game. And you also know that there's always, like, chaperones there, because it's like, if there's not people constantly watching this, like, somebody is gonna put, like, fireball in this or something. So yeah, he says hot cider, which you know is there for free, and then donuts, which the concession stand always has.
Okay, so a mixed bag. Like, he can't take me there because his car's in the shop, but that means he has a car, so that's good, right? Okay, so I'll have to meet him there.
I think we should keep an eye on the cider.
Yeah,
like a magical eye. I know that, like, the chaperones are keeping, like, an alcohol eye, but I feel like we should keep, like, a magical eye on that, because I feel like that cauldron's just gonna, like, explode or something.
it does seem likely, yes. Yeah. Yeah, well, do you think, like, each one of us should keep an eye on one of these guys? Should we all sit together? Is that better? I'm not sure.
Maybe we could all sit together with, like, okay, if we need to split off, we can do that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think unless anyone has anything they want to do before homecoming, we can cut to you all have arrived at the game. I'd love to know if any of you have changed what cute little fall outfits you have, or if you haven't changed and you haven't yet said what you were wearing. Feel free to describe your wardrobe.
I think I have changed into, like, a little, like, skater skirt, you know, and, like, tights and, like, ankle boots and like a big chunky sweater with, like, one of those, like, big ass blanket scarves, because I learned my lesson at school today. But that said, I didn't learn my lesson entirely. These ankle boots have very thin heels, and I will be sinking in the grass and might break an ankle trying to go up bleachers in them.
Yeah. Yeah, what about the other two of you?
I think I am basically wearing the same thing, but slightly warmer. So, like, now I'm wearing fleece-lined leggings that are black, and, like, I have maybe, like, a turtleneck on under my big bulky sweater. And I look a little bit like that kid from A Christmas Story where, like, he can't put his arms down. Like, I look a little bit bulkier than I need to, but I took dress warm very, very literally.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you're wearing?
I mean, I was gonna wear, he said to dress warm.
No, it
This
looks great.
warm.
It looks great.
Oh God. Oh, it looks terrible. I look terrible. Oh my God. What am I gonna do?
You look great. You look great.
Are you sure? Are
I'm
you
sure.
lying?
No,
Okay.
you look great.
Okay. I mean, he just had a breakup. He's probably desperate anyway. It's fine.
What is Bridget wearing?
Bridget's wearing the same exact thing she was wearing this morning, which is the combat boots, the ripped jeans, probably a band shirt 3 sizes too big, and maybe a jacket if she remembered. Probably no. She did not remember the jacket.
Now it is your turn to freeze your ass off.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's a chilly night. It's the kind of night where if you wear a sweater, a cute scarf, and a beanie, you'll probably be perfectly comfortable and cozy in the bleachers. The concession stand is selling hot dogs, popcorn, cake, donuts. And like I mentioned, Buckland High has a tradition where the teachers make a huge cauldron of mulled cider for the students, and have the chaperones there. I think, is there anything that you all want to do before Cassandra meets up with Roberto?
I'm curious if Bridget has like a potion for me that might help. I feel like Roberto's the kind of guy who will absolutely take a doctored drink if he thinks it's booze. So I wonder if Bridget has a potion that might make his tongue a little looser. Not for kissing, but, you know, for talking.
I have both.
Okay, just the talking.
Okay.
Do you have like one? It'd be great if there was a potion that could allow like the three of us to like telepathically ding 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 ding,
Ooh.
like a pinball machine.
I don't know. What do you think, Taylor? Do you think
I think you
that's
can roll
possible,
for it.
potions? Okay.
I would say roll craft.
All right.
I get out my mom's shot glasses.
Yeah, I think you can go ahead, and I think if you want to have the other, because there's kind of two potions you're interested in making right now.
Yeah.
So I think you can roll for each of them. Say which one you're rolling for, and then roll for that one. And I'll remind chat that for 200 bits, you can give Paige a +1 to this roll, which could be extremely helpful. So which one do you want to try to roll first? If anyone does bits, I'll say you can retroactively apply it if you need to.
I'll do them in order in which we come up with them. So first, the one for Roberto.
Cool.
Craft is 2 +1 for the potions.
Cool.
And I rolled a 2, so that's a 5.
Okay, so that's a success. You are able to make a potion that's like kind of like a truth serum-y potion. And maybe you just already have it. Like maybe with a 5, it's just like, oh yeah, I've already got this.
Okay, cool.
I think for
Pull it off my belt loop.
I slip it into a flask.
yeah. I think for the second one, this isn't technically something in this game, but I do think a telepathy potion is pretty tough, maybe. So I think I'll have you roll 2d6 and take the lower one. So you'll basically be rolling with disadvantage. But if you want to use your tarot cards to bump it up, you could pull out your tarot cards.
Okay, I'll try to throw my tarot cards in too. Gosh, so that's gonna be 2 +1 +1, so total of adding 4. It's 2 is my lower of the 2, +4 is still 6, I think.
You make both of them. I think I will put a limit on it that it's probably, you make these 3 potions that like you can telepathically communicate. I think you have to be like, if one of you left the football area, it like wouldn't work for like super far. And I think it's probably only gonna work for like 5 minutes maybe. Because that seems like a pretty advanced potion making. And probably not something, I guess it's up to you if you think that you've had need to make a potion like this before, but it doesn't seem like a potion Bridget would have made. Yeah. So yeah, no. I think it's like a 5-minute thing. And here's what I'll say. I think because it's like a telepathic potion, you pour 3 of them, one for each of you. And Bridget, you know that if one of you drinks it, the other 2 potions will kind of like bubble a little bit since they're telepathically connected. So you'll all be able to tell when one of the 3 of you has had one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really cool.
So yeah, you got some potions. Bridget, what does it look like as Bridget is making this telepathy potion? I would love to know, because you got your tarot cards out, you're at a football game.
Yeah, so it's like I spread out my deck on one of the bleacher stands, and I like cover my arm jacket to like cut off the wind so they don't blow off, and I like flip 2 of them and I go, oh, and then I look back to like my vials. I look back, I'm like, was that reversed? And I look at like Cassandra or also like, no, okay, all right. And then she'll like add something out of her belt loop and shake it up in the vial and be like, okay. And I'll tell them exactly what you said to us. What you only drink this when we split up. It's only gonna last like 5 minutes.
Okay.
And we'll just be able to chat for, within the football field.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Cool. Yeah, I think.
And you can tell us how your conversation with Roberto goes.
Yeah, I think when you say that, Cassandra, you see Roberto having arrived fashionably late, and I think he's on. I think he gets out of someone else's car. Actually, I think you see, because you're looking out for him, he gets out of Pete Lewandowski's car. Brett Baldwin is already here. Obviously, he would have to be here early for the, because he's in the football game. But yeah, you see he gets out of Pete's car, and is kind of like scouting the area for you. Sees you pretty quickly because you have green hair.
I almost go to wave, and I feel like Melissa's like, no, don't do that. Like,
perfect. Oh no, Melanie just redeemed a channel point redemption I have called Silly Voice NPC. So that means that I'm assuming that Roberto is gonna have a silly voice. Oh my god. Melanie wants this guy to sound like Homestar Runner, which HomestarWanna.com.
He's just so dreamy.
She knows that I can do a Homestar Runner impression. I used to do it in high school all the time. So she's specifically targeting things she knows about me. So I've already established Roberto, as much as you all are trying to make him not attractive, he is attractive. He's wearing a trilby, which is a point against him. He sounds like my impression of Homestar Runner, which is maybe a point against him. He is very attractive because he looks like Harvey Guillen.
Really hot if he just doesn't talk. Yeah.
If he just took off the hat, like, that alone would be, like, pretty good. He sees you. At first, I think you both are, like, doing this thing where, like, you know that he sees you, and he knows that you saw him, but neither of you want to be, like, the first person to go over. So you're both just kind of standing around. Tag, have you seen Harvey Guillen? Because Harvey Guillen is hot enough to balance the other stuff, okay?
I don't know who
I have no idea who this guy is.
Look him up. He's on What We Do in the Shadows. He's like the familiar, like the human familiar.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes.
Harvey?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Guillen is Harvey Guillen.
I am going to, like, saunter over to the cider.
Oh.
Because I'm going to get 2, like, cups of cider and then try to, like, slip the potion in.
Yeah. Ooh. What do I want this to be?
Will he want to drink the cider, though, because it's basic?
I'm going to tell him that I put alcohol in it.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
I definitely think you need to roll something to pour this potion into the cider without, first of all, well, I guess if he notices, it's not too bad because you told him it's alcohol. Although if he sees the potion, he's probably
It's in a flask.
Yeah. Oh, it's in a flask.
I put it in a flask.
You definitely need to at least roll so that the teacher who's there watching.
Yeah.
So
for this exact thing.
Yeah. Let me know.
I can come with you, and I can maybe use my suggestion to try to distract the teacher.
Yes, that would be very helpful. Also, I want people to see us together.
Perfect. Yeah. So
generally helpful.
Yeah, Melissa, what do you ooh, this is actually cool. Okay. I don't know that I think I'll have you roll for this. I don't know if you would know it. I think that Cassandra definitely wouldn't know this teacher, but you might. So I think if you want to roll knowledge to know who this person is, who's the chaperone, go ahead and give me a knowledge roll.
That's a 2.
Okay, so you don't know who it is. You can mark a weakness. What do you think? what complication do you think weakens your power and makes it so that you definitely don't know who this teacher is? Because it's not your charm. Like, we haven't done the charm roll to, like, distract him.
Look, as I've said, sweet Melissa, not the smartest. I think this is an AP teacher. And so she's, she's not in any of the AP classes. Like, this is like AP literature or AP bio or something.
Yeah, okay, cool, that works. So yeah, you don't know who this teacher is, and yeah, you're kind of just like, okay. So I think it's not mechanically going to put you at a disadvantage on your charm roll, but like if you would have known who it was, it probably would have like helped a little bit. What do you do to like either to basically cover for Cassandra?
Is this teacher a woman?
No, this teacher is a man.
So it's gonna be like, oh my god, I love your shoes. Oh, how do you distract a dude that you don't know without it being weird? Like, because I'm underage.
Yeah, yeah, I think
he's
not
a
flirt
teacher.
with him.
So I know I don't know him, but would I maybe know what subject he teaches?
I think since you got a 2 and it's like a complication, I think you just straight up like don't know who this guy is.
Just talk to him about the game. He's here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm like, oh my goodness, how do you think the game's going? I really hope we win, but I don't really understand football. Could you maybe like explain the rules of football to me?
Yeah, go ahead and give me, I'm assuming this is craft.
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me a craft roll, and you can definitely add 1 for suggestion. I don't think your makeup is coming into it, but if you have a pitch for why your makeup matters, then, you know.
It's, my wings are sharp.
Bat your eyelashes.
Yeah,
Your
falsies. False eyelashes.
The like Friday night lights, the literal Friday night lights are like bouncing off my Natasha Denoma chroma crystal top coats.
Perfect. Yeah. So go ahead and roll craft, and you can add 2 plus 3. So you can add. You can't fail it. Basically, you're adding 5 to the roll.
Yeah, that's a 7.
Cool. Yeah. So you say that, and he immediately is like, "Oh well, there, little missy. I can tell you a little bit about football, and well, just so you know, the game hasn't started yet. So that's the first thing you need to know. The game's not doing anything yet because it hasn't started. They're just doing their warm-ups and everything. So this is not anything to do with the game. Should be started."
That's so interesting. Tell me more about that.
Yeah. So he continues to Cassandra is spiking someone's drink. And he just talks for a long time about football, and I can't do that because I know almost nothing about football. So he talks to you about football. Cassandra, you've successfully managed to get this potion. You see, I keep wanting to say Guillermo because that's the character's name in What We Do in the Shadows. Roberto, which just as a fun little thing, the reason why I named this character Roberto is because the head writer for Riverdale is named Roberto, so that's why I did it.
That dude is wild. If any of you know how he
really
got the job.
So Roberto kind of meets you halfway, I guess. You've made some of the way over to him. That's enough that he's like gonna come over to you. I do not know how I'm gonna do a Homestar Runner voice for this, but he does walk up to you and say hello.
Hey Roberto, I got us some cider. I added a little something.
Oh, what did you add?
Alcohol.
Yeah, I think I don't I'm trying to decide if you should even roll for this. I don't think I'm gonna have you, because it's been, all the other roles have been good, and I just don't see a teenage boy being like, oh, I'm not, like, it's not like he's secretly straight edge or something and you don't know. Like, he takes the cider from you and just drinks it down.
Wow, you drink so fast. I look at Melissa like, yeah, am I doing this right?
And anyway, so in the second quarter, what happens is
How many quarters are there?
there's 4 quarters, just like in a dollar. I Taylor do know that, I think. So Roberto, you say you drink that so fast, and he says, I do pride myself on my speed.
Cool. Is that what happened to your car?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. It is part of the reason why I can't drive it.
Oh, what's the other part?
Well, the other part is I forgot to change the oil for a while, so I was driving too fast, and then Melanie really fucks me with this voice. I just want to tell you.
It's okay. I'm equally as awkward. Cool. Do you want to sit down, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds good. We can sit down, and do you want a donut or something?
Oh no, I'm good with this cider for now. Yeah. I was more just curious about food. Anyway, whatever. It's fine. Yeah, if I want a donut later, I'll.
Well, I hope
one.
you like cider, cause there's a lot of it to drink. So.
Yeah, there's like a whole cauldron.
I'll get you some more cider once you're finished with that.
Oh, okay. Did you hear about the coffee shop?
Oh, the one that burned down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. Super weird, right?
It's not that weird. Sometimes, restaurants burn down.
I guess, but I heard something about the fire being kind of purpley.
Were you talking to Sabrina?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, well, you can't really trust anything she says.
Oh, I know. I mean, those band geeks aren't like us theater kids.
Wait, I mean, I'm not in the theater. I never.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just meant me.
He kind of like is looking at you and says, yeah, like Sabrina says like kind of a lot of stuff that's like not really, I don't know, kind of a crazy ex.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about those.
So like, it's like really crazy to like, she thought she saw like purple fire, whatever. That's like, what?
Yeah, I mean, how does fire even be purple?
Cool. I think Guillermo, I'm gonna keep doing that. Roberto, kind of like, yeah, I think he like kind of like goes to put his arm around you, and then as soon as you have that reaction of stiffening up, like puts his arm back down and says, well, do you want to find someplace to sit?
Yeah, let's sit down. Yeah. And I'm going to try to subtly text Bridget and be like, I don't think this potion's working. He doesn't seem to be telling me anything I don't know. Maybe I'm not asking the right questions. And it's like the same thing. It's like one thing and then another thing and then another thing.
Yeah.
I really wish I could say outside of an RPG that Bridget leaves you unread, but no, she would say, like most edibles, it takes about 30 minutes.
Oh, emoji.
And the group text said, guys, I think I understand football now. It's actually really interesting.
As you're talking to this teacher who's still talking to you about football, You see, Brett Baldwin, comes up to this teacher, and the teacher puts his arm around Brett and says, hey, let me brag to you a little bit about my son. You want to talk to somebody who knows football. This kid knows football, am I right? And Brett just kind of, like, pushes his hair back, and he's like, yeah, I don't know, Dad, you know, I'm just, like, yeah, I'm the quarterback, it's whatever.
Well, your dad's been telling me all about it, and it's really interesting, but, you know, I'd really love to hear more about it from, you know, somebody involved.
Melanie just redeemed
and I'm rolling
another silly voice NPC. And something terrible is gonna happen to Melanie later. And that's all I'll say. Oh, okay. Well, this is a little bit better. This is already kind of the direction I was going. Danny Zuko. So I could do a Danny Zuko. I'll do Danny Zuko.
Can I roll my craft on?
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
This guy to talk to me?
Yeah, go ahead and roll your craft.
And I'm adding 5 to it, you said, so...
Yes.
That's a 6 on the die, so that's an 11.
Okay. So what are you trying to do specifically with your craft?
I think I'm trying to get him to kind of forget about the football game and focus entirely on me. I know that we didn't give him kind of a true thing, but I'm hoping I can, like
get his attention. Are you
get
trying
his
to get
attention,
him to, like...
and then hopefully from there suggest him into being honest and vulnerable with me.
Okay, so you're basically like trying to get him to not be like in a rush to go back to the game.
Yeah, and I want to also ask him questions later. I'm just not quite doing that right this second. Cool.
Yeah, you bat your eyelashes and like say like, oh, like I love football now, and he's just... God, this is not gonna be a good Danny Zuko impression. He's just gonna be like, oh yeah, what was your name again? Melissa, right?
Yeah, I'm Melissa Williams.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen you around town. This is like Elvis. This is not really Danny Zuko, but that's what it's gonna get. I think I've seen you around school.
Probably.
Yeah, you could just see that he's, like, already, like, enamored with you. That, like, and his dad is kind of, like, saying, like, you know, like, asking, like, kind of maybe, like, not talking to him, but, like, kind of squeezing his arm to be, like, he was gonna ask him something about, like, the game, or, like, something about warm-ups or whatever. But Brett's just only has eyes for you.
Do you want to maybe go somewhere a little bit more private?
Oh, yeah, I'd love to go somewhere private. Yeah, let me text my buddy real quick. And he sends a text as he's going with you to wherever it is that you want to go.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, like, somewhere in this football stadium, maybe under the bleachers, there is a spot where people make out.
Oh, yeah.
And that's sort of what I am leading him towards, with sort of the intent, though, of eventually, like, asking him more about, like, what's going on and that sort of thing.
Yeah, you lead him there. We will cut back to that, and we'll also eventually cut back to Cassandra. But what is Bridget doing right now?
But Bridget goes to every football game because it's the easiest place to sell merchandise. Mm-hmm. So she has orders to fill. So as soon as the girls kind of split off, she probably makes her way to a similar under the bleachers area. Not for the making out, but for the other thing that high schoolers do.
And there's a drug dealing half.
Yeah,
the two genders.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
she's probably there.
You go around. Do you think that you have ever sold anything to Pete?
I think so.
Cool. Pete sees you, looks at the cauldron of the cider, and then makes a beeline over to you, and says, "Yo, Bridget, you holding tonight?"
Depends.
Okay, depends on what.
Depends on what you need.
I mean, kind of take whatever. I mean, your stuff is all like kind of weird. Like you never just have like weed. It's always like some kind of like drink or something.
Yeah, weed's weak. So.
Yeah. So
I mean,
I don't know. I just need something to mellow me out a little bit.
mellow. Are we talking like catatonic? Are we talking?
Not catatonic. I'm just a little nervous tonight.
Why so nervous, Pete?
Well, it's the homecoming game, so you know.
No, I don't. You put money on it or something?
Yeah. I've got money on it. Yeah.
Okay, well, I could sell you drugs.
Okay. So.
Or I could kick you in the balls. That depends on what my cards say. Are you interested? I don't know if this is gonna work.
We're over here flirting.
I'm like, I'll beat the shit out of you, dude.
I mean, some people are into that. Like,
So funny that you're a successful drug dealer. And the way you sell drugs is I'll flip a tarot card and I'll either sell you drugs or kick you in the balls.
Listen, I'm the kind of drug dealer I don't do it for the money, I do it for the passion.
He's like, yeah,
Oh,
I mean
no.
that's the normal deal. I don't know why you're being so weird about it.
Okay. Oh no. You know what that means, doesn't it?
He's gonna run
no.
away.
Oh no, Pete. Oh no, Pete, come back. You promised. All right. I'll text the girls and I go, I scared him off, I think. He's nervous. I'm gonna keep my eyes on him.
I sent some emojis of like a person kicking a ball, and then like the laughing emoji.
Oh my god, it's so funny. Yeah, I think, Bridget, as he's running away, you see he's heading toward the cider. And I think with that, we're gonna cut back over to, let's cut back over to Roberto and, Cassandra. What do you think? I'll say it's probably been an amount of time that you think this potion may be kicking in. Do you have anything that you want to ask, Roberto?
Well, first of all, I think we're sitting on the bleachers above where people are making out underneath, but Cassandra has no idea that that's what happens there.
Yeah.
I might have specifically chosen that as a makeout spot so that I can hear whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But Cassandra has no idea. Like, she's never had occasion to be in the makeout spot. So she's like, yeah, so you like football?
I just remembered this fucking voice. You do notice as you're trying to make conversation, he is looking at his phone a lot, which lines up from what you know about him. And he says, "What? Oh, yeah, I like football. I mean, I like football."
Yeah, me too. I think it's so cool how they run around on the field and stuff. Who are you texting?
Oh, I'm just texting some of my buddies. It's surprising that you like football. It's not something a lot of girls go into.
Oh, well, I'm not like other girls.
He says, Okay, well, since you're not really like other girls, I suppose I should tell you that, let's just say, probably shouldn't drink any more cider tonight.
Why? What are you gonna do?
Well, I'm not gonna do anything. I think Pete's gonna do it, but, it's... Just don't drink any cider. You seem cool. I was gonna kinda... But, you seem cool.
Oh. Well, thank you. And, like, Cassandra's definitely having, like, I don't really want this guy to think that I'm cool, necessarily, but also it feels really nice to be validated, so that's complicated.
So, do you listen to any podcasts?
Yeah, I listen to a lot of podcasts. Yeah.
Do you listen to... This is kind of crazy, but do you listen to Joe Rogan?
I mean, yes, but I don't tell anybody. You know how it is, like, I'm in theater, and so everybody's like, oh, you've got to be, like, super, like, leftist and whatever. And, like, I just think that sometimes he makes really good points about vaccinations or something.
Yeah, you are cool. You are cool. I can tell you're kind of cool. Yeah, don't drink any of the cider. I mean,
Oh, okay.
the stuff you have is fine, but
Don't drink any more of it. I feel like the cider's gone right through me though. So I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Okay. He's just gonna let you go.
I'm gonna go to the porta potties or like whatever bathroom situation there is, and I'm going to text the other two girls in the coven and be like, Pete's gonna do something to the cider basically any minute now.
Yeah, while that's happening, let's cut back to Melissa and Brett, under the bleachers.
Yeah, so isn't it a beautiful night? Look at the stars.
Yeah, the stars are, I can't do any of these voices. Yeah, the stars are, real amazing. Not as pretty as how they look when I look in your eyes.
You're very nice, thank you.
So, you wanna get out of here?
Actually, I kind of don't. There's something sort of thrilling, right? Like we could almost get caught. It's a little naughty.
Do you, like, his eyes go wide and he's like... I know, I can't... Melanie said, just say Sandy to get into it, but Melissa's name is not Sandy. So unless he just starts calling her Sandy.
If he's into that, I mean.
Sandy? I can't even do that. I've seen Grease, like, half of one time. Yeah, so you're trying to get more information out of him. Is this the point at which you're wanting to try to do that, or what's...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think just roll craft again. Which...
Yeah, because I don't want to like use suggestion to make out with him because that feels weird and wrong.
Yeah.
That is an 8.
Cool. So I think he says like, I kind of want to stay, and I think he kind of like laughs to himself and says, yeah, I probably shouldn't go too far anyway. Got some plans for the evening, if you know what I mean.
What kind of plans?
I probably shouldn't tell you.
I like that playing football isn't in the plans.
No,
the thing that he's here to do.
He's kind of forgotten about the football game.
I can keep a secret really good. I'm so good at secrets.
Well, me and a couple buddies are wanting to pull kind of a prank tonight. You know, kind of a senior prank, but it's just kind of the three of us.
So not a senior prank then.
Well, we are
A
seniors.
3-person prank. A 1/10 senior prank.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a cooler prank if nobody even knows that it's happening.
Sure.
So,
Can I get in on it? I could be like the Catwoman to like your Batman character.
I was gonna say the Joker, but...
Oh.
Yeah, that could work. Okay, I'll tell you what. My boys and I, we're gonna dose the cider with a little something, and why don't you go around and you're pretty popular. Why don't you go tell all the girls that they need to drink a lot of cider tonight?
What kind of something?
Okay, well, you know, me and Pete and Roberto.
I'm sorry, can I retroactively, when he started to tell me the plans, can I retroactively have taken the,
Yeah, sure, yeah. So
the potion?
you drink this, you like turn and drink this potion.
Yeah.
I'm like sitting in the porta potty with my phone and I see it starts to bubble. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotta get out this gross ass porta
There's
potty
somebody
before me.
pounding on the door. Like, get out.
Yeah, and Bridget, you also see, you know, you're messing with your potions because you're selling them, and you see one of them starts to bubble a little bit because you know the telekinesis, whatever it's called. You can telepathy, yeah. Starts to bubble, and he says, okay, well, you know how it is. Me and Roberto and Pete, well, you know, I just got broken up with. Roberto just got broken up with, and Pete, I mean, Pete can't even, like, find a girlfriend, so, we just thought we'd kinda, you know, just kinda get back at some of the girls around here who think they're so much better than us, you know? That's all it is. It's just a prank to get back at some of the girls.
So what does the potion do?
Listen, I'd love to
I
tell you,
mean,
but
I think you're so right. Some of these other girls, they think that they're like so important and so special.
He says, did you say potion?
I'm casting craft and I'm saying, no, I did not.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, that's a 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say roll with disadvantage, but I don't think it matters. He says, oh,
No, what?
I don't think you'd believe me if I told you. It's just a prank.
I guess you don't think I'm cool enough to hang with the guys.
No, babe, you're super cool. I can tell you're super cool. Okay, we're gonna put some laxative, some ipecac into the cauldron.
That is really funny.
And you know, we got dates, like, you know, Roberto got this date. We got some other guys in on it. We said, hey, bring some girl to the homecoming game, cause, you know, we're gonna do something to embarrass them. And then you guys can all post it on Instagram. You can tag them. Well, you know, it's like kind of funny because they're all just gonna shit themselves and puke everywhere, and like, you know, we can put it on Instagram and just kind of like knock these girls down a peg. That's all I'm trying to do.
Okay, so obviously I'm like, for lack of a better phrase, live streaming this whole conversation too.
Yeah, like mentally you're like letting your friends know, yeah.
Yeah, I think I say, so it was Pete was the one who was going to actually like do the deed, right?
Yeah, I think Brett says like I was actually about to, put the stuff in because my dad's over there watching right now, so I he's not gonna say anything if I put a little something in the cider, but I think I texted Pete. I think Pete's gonna put something in the cider.
It's fully like that TikTok of like the difference between the like versus the.
There's a mental one of those happening.
Yeah.
And Bridget like corks one of her vials and she goes like, "Peel off, loser," and she starts gutting it to the cauldron.
Yeah, let's cut over to Bridget going over to the cauldron. So you see Pete headed over there. You just told him you were gonna kick him in the balls. And you see Pete headed over to this cauldron of cider, and now that you're coming after him, you can see that he has like a little thing up his sleeve, like a little vial. Actually probably several that he's like kind of, like uncorking or like unscrewing to put into this cauldron.
I'm not being subtle at all. I'm purposely being very loud. I'm gonna come charging at him in the cauldron and just go like, "Lewandowski, you're dead!" And I'm like running at him, like fuming.
Yeah, go ahead and roll vigor, I think.
Okay.
Cassandra absolutely explodes out of the porta potty because she wants to see this.
While they're doing this, I like launch into making out with this guy to keep him as distracted as
he just told you he was gonna make all these girls shit themselves, and then you
Totally.
start making out with him. Which
All right,
he's more than happy to do.
I rolled a 3, but my vigor is 3, so it's a 6.
Perfect. Describe what you do to stop this guy from getting to the cauldron.
I want him to be on the other side of the cauldron, and I would much rather just like drop kick the cauldron itself onto him, potentially.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what happens. He is running. I think maybe you decide that that's what you're going to do, so you start kind of curving to go the other way. He runs, he gets to the cauldron, and you see this little smirk as he thinks that he got there, like, first, and he doesn't even really know what you're doing. But he goes to, I think he does, like, he puts something in the cauldron of cider, and you just, like, combat boot, like, kick the like, lip of it, and it just completely splashes over him. Not hot enough, like, people are drinking it, so it's not like it's, like, you take a picture, completely knock the cider over him. As you do, you see he has this tattoo on his arm that he hits the ground. The cauldron of cider splashes over him. He's laying there. He stands up and he just says, "You bitch!" And you can see this tattoo light up a little bit as he says that. And immediately, Brett stops making out with Melissa. And I think, Cassandra, you see Roberto, now that you're out of the porta potty, stand up and start making his way over to Pete.
If that had gone on a little longer, I was gonna try to like get handsy to feel for any vial or something. Yeah, give me I don't know what role this would be.
Just give me a flat D6 roll, without adding anything to it. Just kind of just like luck to see whether you can grab a vial or anything from him.
2.
Cool. I think you definitely can't, like, you can't manage to feel him up before he gets away. Go ahead and mark 1 weakness. And what do you think is the complication that makes your craft not as strong and maybe enables him to kind of break his way out of your suggestion?
I think it's just that like my focus is snapped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my thoughts have gone elsewhere. I'm,
Yeah. I think maybe this is also too. You mentioned you were wearing these high heels and now you're under the bleachers. I think part of it too is you feel your heel like sinking into the dirt.
Yeah.
So you're like, yeah. And he stops swinging out and turns to like run towards Pete. I don't know if you can see like that's exactly what he's doing from your vantage point, but yeah, you see all three of you see your marks kind of going to converge together as Pete is standing there having just yelled at Bridget, and this tattoo is glowing a little bit.
I like before I like take off my shoes and like have to run barefoot through the mud to follow.
Yeah.
It's so squishy.
What about Cassandra? What's Cassandra doing?
Well, I think Cassandra like stopped. Like, I feel like she was doing like an Instagram live up until the you bitch thing, and I was like, oh, this involves more focus. Okay, and I think she's gonna be like, okay, don't fail me now, and she's gonna try to do her little like latte spill on the ground thing again.
Yeah.
She's like, this worked last time. Maybe it will work this time.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a d6, and then you can add +1 for your divination and +1. Or are you trying to do divination, or are you trying to do something else?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like what is the main challenge here.
Cool.
Like what things should I be stopping first, basically?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a d6, and then you would add
and
2
you just
to it.
Hear, oh shit, like over.
Yeah, you all can telepathically
Sweet, that's
communicate.
a 6.
6. You have this thing that happens again, and I think you this time you like see the sigil that you've kind of carelessly like poured out, and as you see it, it matches like something about this tattoo that's on Pete. Like you kind of, your eye like zooms to that and then zooms to the tattoo. You're like putting the pieces together. You see this vision, not of this earth. In fact, looks like hell. I mean, it's like there's fire everywhere. I think you notice purple flames, which is notable. And you see, I think I wrote the description. Yeah, you see, like a purpley, where did I put this description? I know I decided about this thing. A deep purple, like the color of a bruise, and this billowing cape. Hugely enormous, like human-ish, masculine figure. Big purple horns coming out of his head. The same, like, sigil that you poured in the ground that makes up part of the tattoo on this figure's forehead. And you immediately are struck with the certainty that this is a demon that these boys are doing something to try to summon. And I think roll knowledge to see if you know anything else about this.
That's a 4, and my knowledge is +3.
Perfect. You know that this is Insulaxis, the demon of misogyny.
Okay, so I'm like, okay, Pete's tattoo has something to do with like the king of the incels or something, some demon guy. I think he's in purple hell. I don't know what we're supposed to do. Do we remove his tattoo? That seems very graphic.
Bridget, you are hearing this. You are the closest to Pete, as this is all kind of just happening, like, at the same second. Pete's standing has just yelled at you. You're hearing this monologue from Cassandra in your head. What do you do?
Oh, God. I wouldn't consider Bridget very strategic. So, getting a whole like plan is like very tough. Let's see. I think she would look at the glowing tattoo and gosh, I need help. I'm flanking, guys. I'm straight panicked.
How hot was that apple cider?
It was hot. I don't think it was hot enough to scald him, but he's dripping in hot apple cider.
It's almost like I'm having a Lexi thought, but the Lexi thought is different from Melissa thought. So my thought is like, get a pocket knife and just like, or a cheese grater and go to town on this guy's bicep. Like,
yeah, I was like thinking my nails aren't that. Or it's gross, but it'd be really weird in context of what's happening. But like a love bite, like a bruise would cover it up.
I think
Yeah.
that
on his arm.
Bite him!
I would love for that to happen.
Okay, I'm gonna bite his arm.
Yeah, go ahead and roll vigor.
All
you're
right.
gonna get suspended.
Oh, I've already been suspended. Oh, I rolled a 5 + 3, so that's a 8.
You bite into his arm so hard. Like, not like, I definitely think you draw blood. You bite in such a way that it's like halfway through this tattoo, so it like breaks up the design of it. Basically, it's not like you like ripped him apart or anything, but you bit definitely hard enough
Thank
to
God.
like break skin, and pull away. And Pete just turns to, like, you don't even know what he's gonna do before the adults are coming in. Like, this is homecoming. There's like so many people around pulling you two apart. But Cassandra, you back into reality from this vision, seeing, I think, just the roars of this demon echoing in your head, roars of...
She enters like Troy with the pizza box in the community.
Yeah, I go from the roar of the demon to the roar of the crowd screaming, fight, 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 fight.
Yes, exactly,
And I'm like,
exactly.
oh, I missed something here. Hello? Is this thing on?
Yeah, Bridget, I think you're definitely being held by, like, a couple of adults who are, like, pulling you away. You just, like, bit the arm of this person. I definitely think there's, like, some adult who's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why did you just bite that boy?
It's like rage brain. Bridget's essentially a barbarian, so the telepathic and like voice, it's just like, fuck that guy, like just really mad. But I think she would respond like, he's a dick, he's just a dick. Like she would not be giving context to what's actually happening.
I'm imagining them holding you back and like your legs comically like off the ground.
Young lady, you can't bite people just because they're a dick, okay? You know, I'd be biting people all day if you could bite people just because they're being a dick.
Well, maybe you should.
Yeah, Pete is just like yelling. Like, people are also like pretty mad at him because he's just like calling you a bitch, like saying all of this stuff. I think you can hear, even with your rage, he's like saying like stuff about like, girls never want to date nice guys like me, they always just want to date other guys, and like
Yes.
Oh yeah, well you owe me a kick in the balls, loser.
Wonderful. I think that about wraps up what I had planned. Do any of you have ideas of... Oh my goodness, of course I get a raid right now. So welcome, raiders. Right before you came in, I said that wraps up what we have planned. But welcome, Chris. Welcome, raiders. Let me give you a shout out. While I'm doing shout outs, do any of the rest of you have scenes that you want to do as kind of epilogues? You've, successfully stopped this demon from, making an appearance of at homecoming, which is pretty good.
I feel like Cassandra goes on like one more date with Roberto. just to be sure, and is so bored that she falls asleep into her pizza and is just like, I can't do this. And so just gives a bunch of excuses about how like she's really busy with theater. And then she ends up chatting with with Sabrina, and like they exchange stories and have like a little revenge arc on him, like spreading rumors and stuff.
Yeah,
and
I like that a
making
lot.
sure his last year of school is hell.
I like that a lot. Yeah. Yeah. What about Bridget and Melissa? What do you think the two of you are up to after the events of Homecoming?
I'll let you go first, Paige.
Okay, I think thanks. I think Bridget got suspended for at least 2 weeks.
You and Pete both got suspended at least, so you know.
I feel like Bridget would be excited by that, though.
Oh, I was gonna say,
getting
which is
suspended
exactly
is
what
great.
Bridget wanted. Yeah, Bridget would be totally fine with being suspended. She lives on the wrong side of town, which I imagine is like Riverside, and I bet she lives in a boathouse or something. So she just spends her 2 weeks making potions, and at the end of each school day, she'd pick up her coven and catch up on any good deeds.
Yeah.
And she's totally fine with that. Another episode with the coven. You bite a guy, normal day.
I mean, honestly, that was my high school experience.
I think the next time you see Pete, he has a big like scar through the tattoo. Yeah, it's kind of permanently messed up his demon tattoo. What about Melissa?
And I'm telling him to go to therapy, actually. In all sincerity, I'll be like, Pete, listen, we might not get along, and you still owe me a kick in the balls, but you should go to therapy. Because not all women are like me, but I still exist. So don't fuck with me again. Okay, thanks.
Not all women will bite you on the arm when you try to summon a misogynist demon.
But they should.
They should.
But they should.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about Melissa?
I don't know if this is possible because Bridget got suspended, but I was imagining that like the three of us go to homecoming together and like
Oh, I snuck in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I could definitely picture Cassandra like uses all of the props from the theater department to like dress up Bridget and like does a mostly okay job of like making her look slightly different.
Yeah.
Here's what I think happens. The three of you go to homecoming together. You've managed to get Bridget in, and like maybe 2 hours into homecoming, like pretty much the part that's like fun before everyone starts to leave anyway, there's a big scene as one of the teacher chaperones realizes that Bridget has gotten in and Bridget is kicked out.
He's totally allowed to be here.
Yeah, but that's like kind of more fun than getting completely away with it anyway, because it adds to the mystique of the three of you. I'd love to see, before we wrap up, post homecoming, after Bridget gets kicked out, where do you think the three of you go for your like post homecoming hangout? And I'd just love to see a little wrap up conversation between the three of you.
I mean, my first thought is Denny's, because that's when you're in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your favorite coffee shop is closed, so you can't go there. You have to go to
Yeah.
Denny's.
We end up at the Denny's at 2 a.m.
I think we should help rebuild the coffee shop and put that on our college transcript.
Yes.
College?
Well, you could put, I mean, I don't know, maybe you want to go to a trade school or something.
Okay.
Yeah. I could see that being helpful. You know, woodworking. You know how to burn things down. Now you can learn how to build them too.
Cassandra, that's the nicest thing someone has ever said to me, that I'm capable of going to trade school. Thank you.
Trade school's awesome, honestly.
It is,
like,
actually. It's fucking sick.
Nowadays, that's a more reliable fucking way to make a living. But I give you a big hug and I say, destruction is an act of creation.
You get me. I didn't think you did, but you do get me. Who's our next target? I don't mean that in a violent way. I mean that in like a positive, empowering way.
I think we should really help Sabrina. Like, I think that, like, let's help her like claim her girl power post breakup and like yeah.
Let's help Stella
Or
get her groove back.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
I also
let's
think a
make
good
Anne
backup.
cool.
Oh, that's a good challenge. I also think a good backup plan is to see if there's any boys that Melissa has her eye on. Truly. It'd be a good next step too.
Yeah, I don't know if Melissa. Honestly, I don't think Melissa's into boys. I think Melissa's into girls, but she was just fully willing to.
Oh my god.
Does
I love
Melissa
this.
say anything, or like, are you just having an
You come-
expression in response to
I think
that?
I just look over like, has she really not picked up on this? I think Melissa's one of those girls who she never came out because she just assumed like, well, I'm so feminine. Clearly, that means I'm into girls. And she doesn't understand that people aren't going to put the pieces together the way that she has put the pieces together.
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
I think Cassandra like sees or feels that moment of tension and just says, I think I might be asexual. I don't really want to date anybody. I think dating's super gross. Oh,
Oh.
it's so hard to be a theater kid who doesn't want to have sex.
That was too real. Oh shit.
A non-horny theater kid. What a
Fucking tough.
what a life. Yeah, I think the camera pulls back from this, from Melissa kind of like looking around like they don't know I'm gay. Cassandra has this this revelation. I think the Denny's waiter just at the right time brings over your food, brings over your coffee. I think there's pumpkin spice pancakes right now, so it's like,
Ooh, that does sound really good.
yeah. So you get these nice warm pumpkin spice Denny's pancakes. And the camera pulls back, the three of you talking and chatting and giggling, and there's a little tingle of magic in the air, as it just keeps pulling back out through the Denny's window. And that's where we're gonna end our story tonight. Thank you all so much. This was so much fun. I loved having all of you on. I knew this was gonna be a great stream, and it was a great stream, so I was right. This time, let's start with, for anyone, because we did get a raid, so anyone who is new in chat, you can reintroduce yourselves to them, and this time we will start with Lexi. Do you want to introduce yourself to people and also let people know stuff you got to plug in case they missed the middle part?
Yeah, I'm Lexi. I've been playing tabletop RPGs and running tabletop RPGs for, it'll be 3 years in November, which is very exciting. Besides D&D, I'm really into Monster of the Week, Monster Hearts 2, which I flip around in my brain easily, and Good Society, all sorts of new games, particularly in my favorite part of playing TTRPGs is the chance to sort of play in different genres and different tone. And that's what I love about this medium in particular. Not really anything personally to plug, but check out, like I said, especially, local independent haunts this time of year. A lot of local independent haunts are people's passion projects. They couldn't happen last year, obviously, or had to happen in a limited capacity. So check those out this year.
Awesome. Paige, do you want to reintroduce yourself to people? Let them know what else you got going on.
Yeah, sure. So I am also a Twitch streamer over at Dungeon Mom, where I get to DM my friends and family in our weekly D&D campaign that we call Don't Split the Party. It's a lot of fun, just as much fun as I had tonight. So lots of laughs, very chaotic, good energy. I'd love to see you over there, and you can jump in at any point. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being here. Kitty, do you want to let people know a little bit about you, where they can find you, etc., etc.?
Yeah, so I'm Kitty Striker. I play tabletop RPGs a lot. I've been playing them off and on for like 20 years or something, but I've been mostly playing D&D and Fiasco over the last couple of years. I actually wrote a Juggalo Fiasco about the gathering of the Juggalos.
Oh, that sounds so fun.
I got to run it for Juggalos actually at a Juggalo gaming convention that got shut down for fighting in the parking lot, which felt extremely apt.
That's how you do the juggalo juggalette thing.
Yeah, yes. I have a Fago bottle Molotov cocktail tattoo. Um, and I do a lot of consent activism related stuff. I do street medic stuff. You can find me pretty much anywhere at Kitty Striker. I do occasionally have adult content on there, so I think that's important for people to know. And I would like to plug Ghost Court, which is currently on Roll20. It's a really fun and easy to learn LARP from Bully Pulpit Games, and it's perfect for this time of year. Easy to run remotely, and you can have a bunch of people playing it at once.
That's awesome. And yeah, for anyone who's familiar with Fiasco, it's the same game company as Bully Pulpit Games also does Fiasco, which is awesome. I love Fiasco. Cool. Well, here's what we're going to do next. I am going to wrap up with chat. I'm going to mute myself and turn off my camera in our call if you all want to hang out for just a second so I can wrap up with you afterwards and thank you properly for being on stream. But for now, you all can wave goodbye to chat as I go over
Bye,
to
chat.
my credits
Bye, chat.
screen.